Dude, what are you doing? Why are you sneaking around? Open the folder. GIGABYTE Stealth components have landed. So there are 3 components within the GIGABYTE Stealth line that we're going to discuss today. And the first one is the X870 AORUS Stealth ICE motherboard. And this is a beautiful looking board, and it is back connect. And just in case you're not familiar with what back connect is, it basically means that all the connectors that are normally on the front of the motherboard are actually now on the back. So you can see all of our connectors are right here. And then once the build's all done, we're gonna have an extremely clean look with pretty much no cables in the front. And we do have a really nice back armor on this motherboard. And it's really nice to see the high-end AM5 chipsets like X870 get some back connect love, because before there was hardly any options for AMD, and some of them weren't even available in the United States. But this board is absolutely beautiful. Then as far as some specs, we have a 16+2+2 twin digital VRM design. We've got dual channel DDR5 RAM with 4 DIMM slots. This is going to support AM5 CPUs. We do have 4 M.2 slots. And if I go ahead and take off this piece right here, which is a quick release, it just comes off nice and easily. We can see that these 2 slots right here are PCIe 5.0 and these 2 are PCIe 4.0. So let's go ahead and get this back on here real quick. Then we do have a quick release for the GPU. So normally you'd have to press this tab in to release the GPU, but now once it's locked, you have this button over here. So you just click this, and then all of a sudden your GPU is free to remove. But a really nice looking motherboard, and I think it's gonna look great with our build. So next up in our Stealth line of components is the RTX 5090 Stealth ICE. And at first glance, this looks like just a normal 5090. We've got 32 gigabytes of VRAM. We've got GIGABYTE's wind force cooling system. We do have a screen on the front, but if you take a good look at this angle, you'll see that the power connector is actually not on the front side. But if we flip it to this side, we can actually see that the power connector is right here. So your power supply cable is going to come in through here, and it's going to plug in right here. So when you look at it horizontally, it's going to be very difficult to spot that power supply cable. So we're going to have a near cableless build when it comes to the front side of it. So this should look extremely clean once it's all done, but it's an absolutely beautiful GPU, very large, very heavy. If we prop it on this end, we've got 1 HDMI port and 3 display ports. And then on this end, we've got some holes right here. And it's actually because this GPU comes with a sag bracket, and it fixes to these holes right here to support it. Because like I said, it is very heavy. So you'll need some kind of sag bracket to support it. There's our PCIe connector. And then one interesting thing about this GPU is it actually comes with this reverse blade fan. And the reason they include this is because they also include this gasket. And this gasket fits in right here. Let's see if I can get this in first try. So this gasket actually fits in right there. And then you're gonna place this reverse blade fan on top. And let's see if I can get the holes to line up. That's pretty close. So you can actually mount this fan on the top. So you actually get some better airflow for the GPU, because obviously these are pushing into the heatsink, and then you have a reverse blade fan that is pulling air up and out. So I don't fully know if I'm going to use this fan with it, because it does look a little bit strange, but I think that's really cool that they included it. So before we go over the last stealth component, let's go over a few other components that are going in the build. So this is an AMD 9800X3D, and thank you to AMD for supplying this for this build, but this is one of the best gaming CPUs on the market and should pair extremely well with this 5090. Next up, Corsair supplied their MP700 Pro, and this is 4 terabytes, and this is Gen 5 with read speeds up to 12,400. So this is going to be an incredibly fast drive for this build and should give us ample storage for all the games we need. And then in my use case, a lot of videos and project clips as well. So for RAM, Corsair supplied 64 gigabytes of their Dominator titanium RAM, which is going to look amazing with this build. And this is 6,000 mega transfers per second, and it's CL30, so it's an extremely fast kit right here. And then you may be wondering what these two are. So these are actually dummy sticks. So this is their lighting enhancement kit. So I don't want the instability of having 4 sticks, so Corsair actually makes these dummy sticks, because if you take a look at the connection side, you can see that some of it's blank. So basically these are going to be fake sticks, and it's going to look like I'm running 4 sticks of RAM, and these are going to function RGB wise just like 4 sticks, but it's actually only 2. So this is actually a lighting enhancement kit to make it look like I have a full RAM set. Next up, for CPU cooling, we've got the Li Hydro Shift 2 LCD-C. And the reason I went with this, because I didn't want dangling tubes right here to get in the way of the build. And the Hydro Shift 2 has these really short tubes right here, so it should make the build look even cleaner. And I specifically chose this one because you can choose your own fan. So I love that Li has an AIO that comes with no fans. And speaking of fans, we're going with the Li SL Wireless, and I chose these just because they're extremely clean and it's very easy to power them. Like, one group of fans only needs this one cable that plugs into the fans. And then this side is just one PWM header. So really easy to put together and really easy to cable management. So we've got a mix of regular blade fans and then also reverse blade fans. And for power, we're doing the Montech Titanium Platinum 1200 watt. And this is actually made by Seasonic, and it's 80 plus platinum. It's ATX 3.1 and PCIe 5.1. And I really like these power supplies because of the cables they come with. So here's the 600 watt cable. And the reason I really like them are the cables are really thin and they bend extremely well. So there's no stiffness in them. It's very easy to manage. So this is actually one of my favorite power supplies to use, and it should make cable management much easier just because of how flexible these cables are. And the last stealth component we have is the GIGABYTE C500P case, or the C500 Panoramic, and it was made with these stealth components in mind. And we have a dual glass design with glass on the side. We have glass on the front. We've got a mesh top panel, and we've also got our IO right over here. We've got mesh on the back panel where our side fans are going to sit. We have a nice elevated bottom so we can get fresh air into our bottom fan right here and fresh air into our power supply, and then eventually our bottom fans that are going to sit right there. Then we have ventilation for our rear fan. Our motherboard's going to sit right here. Here's our PCIe slot covers, and I've already punched one out because I did a little mock-up earlier, so that's why one of them is removed. And then our power supply is going to sit horizontally down at the bottom. And then we have a trio of mesh dust filters. We have one on the top. We have one behind the back panel right here for these fans. And then we also have one on the bottom, which you may be able to see me shifting around. So dust should not be an issue with this case. And then all of the panels are toolless removal. The side panel is easy to remove, so is the front. And then same with the back panel. The only thing is we have 2 captive screws in order to get this back panel off. So that's really interesting. But let's go ahead and take off these panels and talk about the inside a little bit. So all of the panels are off, and we have a nice working area right here. There's pretty much nothing in the way of doing this build. So building this case should be really easy. And we've got 4 pre-installed fans, with 3 of them being reverse blade. So that's really nice to see more manufacturers including reverse blade fans in their builds. And right now I've got kind of all the cables really messy right now because I've been messing around with this case a lot, kind of planning out this build, so I apologize for that. But we can support up to ATX motherboards and of course back connect boards, because that's what our Stealth ICE X870 is. And one thing, the PCIe slots do come horizontal from the factory to mount your GPU horizontally. But if you want, you can remove these 4 screws back here, and then you can rotate this 90 degrees so you can mount your GPU vertically. And you can see we have a couple spots down here for the optional riser cable. So your riser cable screws into either of those holes right here. You rotate this piece back here, and then you can mount it vertically. So that's really cool. And you can fit a 120 millimeter fan down here. You can fit 2 120 millimeter fans right here. And then you can fit up to 3 120 millimeter fans at the top. and up to a 360 millimeter radiator at the top. And you can also fit a 360 millimeter radiator on the side as well. So far looking like a promising case. Then if we take a look at the back, normally these are all plugged in from the factory, but like I said, I've been messing around with this case, but everything is plugged into this hub right here. So we do have a bunch of fan connections, and then we also have a bunch of 5-volt ARGB connections. So it does come included with a controller, so that's nice to see. Then we have this piece right here, and you can fit one HDD right here, or you can fit two 2.5-inch drives. Then you can also fit a 2.5-inch drive right over here. And then our power supply is going to sit horizontally. Here's all of our cables for our top IO. So I'm gonna get these all nice and managed. And normally these are a bit cleaner when the case comes, but once again, I've been messing around with the case. And then you can also fit a 3.5-inch HDD down here as well. So really interesting case. Should be really interesting to build in. All of our cable management is basically going to be right here, coming straight out of the power supply, but we do have some tie down points all around the case. And like I always do, I'm going to make my cable management as good as possible, so we'll have to see how it turns out, but it doesn't look like it's going to be too difficult. But on that note, let's go ahead and jump into the build. So the build is all done, guys, and holy moly, this thing is absolutely insane. So this is a very expensive build, as you probably already know, mainly because of that 5090. But if I were to put a price on it, I'd say probably around $5,000 USD. So it's a very over-the-top build, but it's probably one of the fastest gaming PCs you can build right now, and it just looks so unbelievably clean. And we'll take off the panels here in a second, but let's just take in the beauty. No tinted side panels. With these, you can fully see all the components, which is exactly what I would want with a build like this. And geez, I just love white PC builds. There's something about them, if you couldn't tell. So really clean. We'll get a little view of the back right here. Not a ton to see. You can see the fans there a little bit. There's the back. Same with the top. Not much to see. We do have that mesh dust filter there. And then taking a look at the rear. Also, once again, not much to see. We do have my wireless controller for the fans and for the AIO. But there's a look at the back. Let's finally take off these panels and then get a better look at this bad boy. So the main goal of this build was to have no visible cables in the front, and I'm pretty sure I have succeeded, because I think the only two cables showing on the front side of this build are one, the power supply cable for the GPU. So that's going to be slightly visible, and I apologize it's not focusing. There we go. So that's visible depending on the angle. And then also my side fans. You can actually see the cable right there. But it is hard to notice, hard to spot. And I probably could do something to make it a bit more hidden, but at most normal viewing angles, you can't even see it. So that would just be the picky side of me if I wanted to go ahead and fix that. But there were a ton of components that made it possible to make this clean. Obviously, the GPU is one with its hidden connector. And then the motherboard being back connect. Those obviously greatly helped with the minimal amount of cables in the front, but also the AIO and the fans. They're using Lee & Lee's wireless technology, so there's hardly any cables used for them. And the AIO with the minimal tube routing towards the top just looks really clean. And then also no visible cables coming out of the pump. Rather, everything is coming out of this piece right here. So you can see some cables coming out right there, and I've got all the cables kind of tucked up alongside the backside of the radiator, but there's no cables coming out of the pump. It's actually all stored within the radiator right there. So that made it really clean. And then of course the fans, because each group of fans basically has one PWM header coming out of it for power. So I have 5 total cables for all of these fans. Like I mentioned earlier, we've got the controller, and this helps with RGB control and fan speed control. So it's all wirelessly controlled, and there's no internal controller. It's only this controller plugged into a USB-A port. So those components made it much easier to minimize the amount of cables and get the cleanest look possible. And then we've got things like the RAM, which just look absolutely amazing, and I'm so glad I got these dummy kits, because all 4 slots filled out just looks way better. And then of course they're white, so they match really well, and the RGB is really subtle, but matches all of the RGB in the case. And of course I had to do white RGB because I just feel like it was the best way to go. We've basically got white and silver components with white RGB. Then we've got the screen on the GPU, and then right now I just have a black image. I haven't messed around with it too much, but we've just got a black image, and then I've got the GPU temperature. But you can display GIFs, custom images, basically anything you want to, and you can have a whole bunch of information being displayed. But I've got my GPU temp on the GPU screen, and then I've got my CPU temp on the AIO screen. And that's usually the only information that I quickly want to access. And I think it looks good with the black background and the white text. God, this PC build just came out so good. Even better than I thought it was going to come out. So let's go to the start of the show, which for me is at least the star of the show, is the cable management. So I filmed pretty much my entire cable management for this build because I always get so many comments showing the process I go through for cable management. So I tried to film everything, and usually I don't because it takes me quite a while and it would just be so much to include in a video. So the montage is a little bit longer than normal, but I'm sure a lot of people might want to see that. Maybe it's helpful, I don't know, but I'll explain it a little bit. So I've got my top IO, all the cables are coming out right here. We've got them zip tied and they're basically all behind my power supply cables right here. So you can see my USB-C pops out right there. Then we've got USB-A right there. And then behind this big old harness, we've got my front panel connector. And then we've got HD audio over here. And I was able to tuck everything away really nicely. And then all of the power supply cables come up. One's going towards the GPU. Keep going up. One goes to the motherboard. And then they go up right here. We go over to the right. And then they plug into the CPU. Because I really wanted to keep these cavities as clean as possible, so I routed them that way. And given the length of the CPU cables, it ended up working perfectly. So this is about the max length I had with the CPU cables anyways. And then even some of the fan connections I was able to hide behind this little pillar right there to make sure they're not visible from the front. We've got some fan cables up there. And then we have one cable up there that's going to the radiator. And that's for the AIO pump. Cable management came out really good though. Because if you guys have seen my videos before, I spend way too much time on cable management, but I feel it's worth it. I'm always extremely satisfied with the finished result, which I think is worth the extra time. But what do you guys think? Clean? Could use some work? Let me know down in the comments what you think of it. But overall, just an absolutely beautiful build. So there's one thing I really wanted to test, and it's actually with this 5090, because earlier I showed that this GPU comes with a fan that you can place on the top that should help with temperatures. And in the short form content video I posted, a lot of people were not a fan of how the fan looked, no pun intended, but they didn't like how it looked, but I wanted to see if it was actually functional. So I've been running an OCCT benchmark for quite a while, and you can see we're pulling 573 watts, which is absolutely insane. And we've been sitting around 74 degrees Celsius pretty much this entire time. So the GPU is running plenty cool, and then in game, I bet you it'll probably be in the mid 60s to high 60s. So sitting around 74 with no fan, but I actually wanted to add the fan to see if it actually made any kind of difference. So here's a visual of how it looks without the fan. Now let's cut to with the fan while running our benchmark. So the fan on the GPU is installed, and of course in true Dancam fashion, you know I had to make every single fan match in the PC, and it is a reverse blade fan, so it is pulling air up and away from the GPU. So we kind of have a little bit of a push-pull. We've got the fans on the GPU, which are pushing air through the heatsink, and then the top fan is pulling air up and out. So I've been running my test for a little while now, and I actually do not see any difference in temperatures. So I thought this was a really interesting test, and I may have to be a little bit more thorough, maybe bump up fan speeds and see if there's any difference, but no change. Maybe a half a degree at most, but it's still hovering around 74 or 75. The only thing that I think it could be good for is, one, the connector is completely hidden now, so you cannot see the power supply connector at all. And then it also might keep the connector a little bit cooler because it has a fan pulling away air from that connector, and you might be able to spot it through the fan here. I'm not sure, but it actually might keep that connector a little bit cool, which I know is a concern for most people with the 600 watt connector. So I thought it was a really interesting test, but I felt like I needed to at least try it and see how it worked, and it seems like it didn't make much of a difference. So what do you guys think of the fan on the GPU look? Do you think it looks ugly? Do you think it looks cool? I'm glad it's matching all the other fans, but I'm not entirely sure if I like it, but on one side of things, I kind of do like it. I think it's kind of cool, but let me know what you think down in the comments. And if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Please drop a like, comment what you think, subscribe if you enjoy my content, share it with a friend, and then I'll see y'all in the next video.